to the Bean Ninjas podcast, where you get an all-access pass to see what happens behind the closed doors of a fast-growing global bookkeeping and financial reporting business.
We're back on episode 2 of the Working in Public series with Michael Wark and myself, Anfernee Chansamooth, and we're just going to sort of jump in from where we left off last week. How are you doing, Mike?
Very good, mate. Very good. Yeah, great to be here.
Now, you're calling in from somewhere else. Where are you?
I'm overseas in Indonesia at the moment on a trip. So it just so happened that this trip was lined up for months and months and months before we kicked this off this podcast session. So, yeah, I'm calling you from Indonesia on a bit of a surf trip over here. So internet's a little bit bad, but it should be. Hopefully we can get through this chat.
Yeah, amazing things we're learning already. Like just a bit of a behind-the-scenes look. We're actually recording this through WhatsApp because of the internet situation. So, if you're wondering how this is happening, thank you, WhatsApp. Okay, so Mike, let's just run through what were your objectives for last week and how did you track against them?
So I had a few objectives for last week. I didn't kick as many goals as I'd liked, to be honest with you. So I flew away for a work trip Wednesday last week, and that was a few days transit, and then getting out of here where the internet's not too bad. So I made it over safely, but our landing page, there was a hitch, and that is not live yet. So I need to edit some video testimonials for that to get it up. My certification is almost there, but again, with the net slow here, I couldn't polish off the last 2 modules. But I did deliver the implementation. So out of the 4 objectives, I achieved 2, but also didn't achieve 2.
That's still a good week, and we're going to share some of the lessons from that in a moment. So for me... For me, I had finalized a 3-part video series and get the pages for that up. So that was done. I wanted to work on a drip sequence and test that and have that ready. So that was completed as well. And then the final one I had was to send a re-engagement email campaign to some past clients and leads and let them know about this upcoming course. And that was delayed for me as I was waiting on some of our sales team to clean up some of the database, and we're still working through what is the appropriate message to send to re-engage past clients and leads. We want to make sure that if we are re-engaging them, it might have been some time since we last did some work with them, or they were in contact with us. So we want to make sure that it's not just a straight, hey, buy something from me kind of message, and it's more value than that. So we're exploring what's the appropriate path for that.
Great work, mate. So is that 2 out of 3?
Yeah, that's 2 out of 3. In all in all, a good week. And then there are some other challenges which I'll talk about in a moment. So what would your wins for the week be, Mike?
I guess making it over here safely was probably the big one. I'm flying in the middle of the coronavirus, pandemic, so that was a bit nerve-wracking. But I got here safely and healthy, which was good. And in terms of the work wins, I have 7 blueprint sessions lined up for when I'm back, which is a result of direct outreach. So that's direct one-on-one sales calls with business owners about their business. And I'm really looking forward to those. And I'm glad I've got 7 because I'm going to try and evolve our offering based on these calls and try and listen to these business owners' problems and make sure that we're solving them.
Yeah.
So those are my probably 2 big wins for this week. And what about yourself, Ev?
That's awesome, mate. For me, so a couple of wins here. The first one was getting that 3-part video sequence up, and that's live. We also had a webinar recorded with one of our partners, and they're going to use that as an evergreen webinar to sell our course as an affiliate. And we've also got a live webinar happening tomorrow with another partner that I reached out to, which is a lesson in itself in terms of just staying in touch with somebody, because we hadn't worked together before, and I just made it an effort to continually reach out to this person every 3 months and then say, hey, I think it'd be good for us to work together. And we jumped on a call a couple of weeks ago and sort of it all lined up. And she said, yep, definitely want to have some kind of collaboration between us, and that's led to this webinar happening tomorrow for her audience, which is really cool. And then the final one, in terms of wins, is yeah. And the final one, just like I wanted to set up an automated webinar, which is now up and running and in promotion mode. So that's going to be the website is beninjas.com/masterclass, and that's if anyone wants to check that out, that's basically a automated webinar that we're using to educate people on how to set up their sort of zero system and how that helps them to build financial freedom. And we've been getting already 6 signups for that, so quite excited about that result. So
awesome. Well done, mate. Congrats.
Cheers. And so, Michael, you mentioned internet was definitely a challenge for you, but why don't you share a bit more about was there anything else that was a hitch for you? Like you talked about live editing videos and things like that. What came up for you?
I guess with the landing page, that was one big hitch, which was making sure I got all the videos edited succinctly for our landing page instead of having a full course testimonial up there. Not a course testimonial, like a testimonial of an implementation. And also, the internet, which has pivoted what I'm going to be doing whilst I'm on this trip. So I'm going to try and pivot into doing a little bit more stuff. I've bought a few books, so it's going to be more of a personal development trip, and I'm working on myself a bit more rather than having to rely on the internet, which we do a lot these days.
That's a great direction for you, I think, and something that us being business owners and entrepreneurs, we come across these roadblocks along the way, and it is, like you say, how do you pivot to get with that, right? How do you not try and struggle and try and force something to happen? And this is going to be one of the challenges that I faced as well this week. So for me, basically, we have, based on the campaigns that we put together over the last month, we've currently got 102 leads in drip for this course that we're selling, but we haven't generated any sales yet, right? And so I was starting to freak out a few days ago and just go, okay, what the hell's going on? And it just came down to, look, you can't force someone to buy something. You have to actually have conversations and understand what the challenges are and make sure that your solution meets those specific challenges, right? And so it's sort of reminded me to focus on that, and that this is a learning process, and it's not about, hey, if you don't get the result that you want, that it's a complete failure, because it's not.
No, not at all. Not at all. It's a learning process. That's why we're recording these, mate, to document our learnings.
That's right. So, Mike, what's been sort of a key lesson for you this week?
Well, it's actually the power of partnerships. So I have a few potential blueprint sessions lined up. I can't announce it yet because we haven't inked a deal, but it will potentially lead to a whole bunch of new work for Profit First and for helping up somebody's client base with implementation. So that's over 15 people at once. So that's something that's really exciting if it goes through, and I think that's something I'm going to try and leverage a bit more moving forward, which is getting in touch with partners who have an audience that could really use our help.
That's really cool. So maybe without sharing specific details, but how did you find that partner? What was the action that you took to get there?
So I've been working together with Meryl on a bunch of our current clients who might be a good fit, and we've been emailing them out with a little bit of background about the new business and also what it solves. And that was a result of our existing Bean Ninjas network, which is really cool, which is also a testament to why you and I have launched these with Meryl and with Bean Ninjas and Wayne. So it's nice to be in the family.
Oh, love it. Cool. Yeah, there's definitely power in leveraging existing relationships and getting introductions that way. That's really cool. So for me, my sort of key learning comes back to really a conversation I had with Meryl around product market fit. And you can't assume, we spoke about this in the last episode, but Bean Ninjas has spent, the last 5 years building that product market fit, or, getting clear on what it does and who it serves. And now we're launching 2 different products, what you're working on and what I'm working on. And it's almost like you're starting that process again. Even though it's, there's an established brand, what we're doing at Bean Ninjas Education is a little different in terms of what the product offering is in these courses, right? So based on some of the sales calls that Meryl has been having, as well as conversations I've been having with potential partners, we're seeing a bit of a disconnect between the title of the course that we're selling. So we're calling it How to Do Your Bookkeeping in Zero. And the perception from different people on what that actually means. And so, we're really sort of digging into what's the actual pain point we're solving with the course, and how does it match what the audience is actually feeling. What we're seeing, or what we've observed so far, is that the second course that we're launching, which is coming up in June, which is Know Your Numbers, seems to resonate far better with most people. Because it's solving a specific pain point around them not knowing their numbers and wanting to know their numbers, right? So now we're looking at how do we better position this particular course, because you can't, as you know, Mike, you can't do the Know Your Numbers course if you don't have your financial system set up properly. And so it's almost like we have to sell the second course first, but bring the first course in as a prerequisite in some way. Does that make sense?
Absolutely, yeah. And I think it has an audience and it's very relevant. It's just about what the name is and how you tell people what it solves for them. Definitely, I still think there's huge value in that first course. It's just, you've got to crawl before you can walk, and I think it's just a matter of educating our audience those points. But yeah, I think we'll find it eventually. I guess it's just exploring how we do that.
Yeah, and I imagine you're going through a similar experience with the blueprints and a profit first, and you've done well with a brand that's out there. The books are out there, and there's these profit first professionals being certified and all this sort of things. So when people hear the name, they kind of know what it is to some degree. But I think there's still some education involved in what's the actual product or service that you're selling. Is that right?
Yeah. There's definitely brand recognition. It's a best-selling book, and that's part of the reason. I mean, we have clients asking for this, which is part of why we're helping people with it. But back to your point, I can't really do a high-quality implementation for someone unless they have the basics of their Xero file up to date, which is the first course. So it's that is the first starting point for pretty much any work with us is having that stuff nailed. That's why I think it's so massively important that we get that first course out there and help people with it, because for me to do what I do and for the rest of this stuff to work, it's really important that's in place.
It's interesting. Yeah, it's like that whole, what people need, but it's not what in their mind what they want, right? So we've got to work out how do we bridge the two. All right, so
exactly.
All right, cool. Well, let's wrap this one up, Mike. What are you working on next week? What are one or two things that you're? You mentioned sort of personal development. So what are a couple of things you might be working on?
So my goals are, I'm going to finish the 3 books that I've brought out here, which are one's based on Chief Operating Officer, one based on Chief Financial Officer, and then I've got another book about advisory. So I've got 3 useful books I'm going to get through just the next 2 weeks. I want to create a series of videos for LinkedIn whilst I'm out here, so try and leverage offline work. So create a bit of content whilst I'm in a cool spot at this surf resort, and then put them on LinkedIn when I'm back. As well as continue the partner outreach, because I can still send emails occasionally, and improve the blueprint sessions that I'll be delivering in 2 weeks when I'm back. So try and make that a really high quality product. What about yourself, mate?
Very cool. All right. So for me, I'm heads down sales mode. So a few things related to that. The first one is getting more people onto the webinar, which is an educational webinar with an offer. Really good offer, actually, at the end of that. The second one is to get more people to watch our 3-part video series. It's very high quality. We've put a lot of effort into creating those, but it doesn't really work if no one watches them. So that's the second one. The third one is to do direct email offers to specific people that we know might be interested in the course. And then the last one is I'm working on getting an evergreen webinar up and running, and that's something that we can give to our partners. And it's an easier sell for partners because they don't want to have the feedback's been they don't really want to have live webinars. They would prefer just to have something that's evergreen that they can send people to. So those are my 4.
Sounds like you'll be busy.
Absolutely. But, and the other thing is this week I'm off for 2 days attending Superfast Business Live conference here in Sydney. So, I have to line all these things up and make sure the engine's moving whilst I'm sitting in the conference room for 2 days and learning just like you.
That would be awesome. I'm looking forward to hearing how it goes on the next podcast.
We'll let you know. All right. Well, that's it. We'll wrap it up here, guys. Make sure you tune in and subscribe if you want to learn more. If you have any tips for Mike or myself on any of the challenges that we're facing, we'd love to hear it. But otherwise, yeah, I'm definitely enjoying this process. How about you, Michael?
Mate, it's great. It's great. It's great being accountable and also speaking to you because we're on the same path. So, yeah, no, I'm really enjoying it.
Cool. All right. We'll tune in next week and we'll be back with episode 3 of 5. I'll see you then. Thanks, Michael.
Thanks, mate. Bye.
Thanks so much for tuning into this episode of the Bean Ninjas podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to hit subscribe to receive notifications of upcoming episodes.
We also want to give you a little thank you gift for supporting us. You can grab our free Zero Toolkit for small businesses. This includes our step-by-step guide to getting your Zero file in order, a cash flow forecast template to help you plan for the ups and downs in your monthly cash flow, and a bookkeeping timetable template to help you stay on top of your finances and get current reporting. Simply go to beanninjas.com/Zero Toolkit, enter your email, and we'll send it over to you. That's beanninjas.com/Zero Toolkit to grab your free gift.
Thanks again for listening.